Greetings, fellow travelers, and hope you've been well. I just wanted to put together a new video on what I'm calling like a little survival car bag. So this is just something that you can keep in your car during the winter specifically. So this is something that, if you do get stuck in the snow, or if you're forced to stay in your car for an extended period of time, or if you need to bug out, if you have to abandon your car, this could be used as, so little extra survival tools that you could utilize to help you maybe just last an extra day or so. So let's put this together and see what happens. All right, so I'm just gonna crack it in. So again, this is the 20-liter not the survival, but 20 liters duffel bag from Fieldcraft Survival. I like these bags over like the North Face bags or the Patagonia bags. They're just really made of a very heavy material. I mean, they're not like waterproof type of thing, but they have very heavy zippers, very strong, straps. And this one, the 20 liter comes with just a single over the shoulder strap. If you move up to like the 40 liter or the bigger ones, they come with double straps. So you can carry it more like a backpack. But this one is just more that smaller size that it's easier to sort of tuck away, maybe behind the back seat of in your car, or maybe in your trunk, and it's not going to take up a ton of space. But let's just get right into it. All right, so again, it comes with these nice T zipper pulls, so really easy to sort of grab onto and pull. Again, very heavy duty zippers that help out. So as I pull these things out, I'll go one by one by the items, and I'll try to have links to everything that I'm going through here as well in the description. So check out the links. Hopefully, if there's things that you find interesting or you'd maybe want to replicate, they'll be available for you to sort of check out. So the first thing that I want to sort of point out, this top lid comes with like a hook and loop panel. So they usually come with like a couple of these bags, so these Fieldcraft bags, and they just stick right on. So if you want to pull these off, you need a first aid kit. It's easy, you sort of rip it off really quick, or just you can hold certain gear. And then it has a couple of these MOLLE panels underneath it. So if you don't want the bag and you want to just fill up with some MOLLE panels, I have a knife on here that I'll talk about that you can sort of go through piece by piece. So I'll start with the two top panels, then I'll sort of move into the bulk of the bag and from there. So the first, just it's not that as heavy, but it's a good ripstop with the sort of the hook and loop on the back, and some good zip pulls again. So this is it's more like a dump bag, and here so this is a good place to keep things that might be a little smaller that you would fall, get lost into the larger bag, or things that you maybe need that are a little bit quicker accessible. So I always carry a headlamp. So this is a great little headlamp that I think I bought at Costco, but I'll find the exact link. This one also has motion detector and also a broader light. So let's see if I can show this off without blinding you guys. So it has, if you can sort of see the main. So once you get in there, you got the different, just the bottom light that goes on. Then you got the main light. And then you have red light, so for visions at night. You have a flashing light for emergencies. Then also it has a blue light. So really cool little headlamp, very, very comfortable straps. I have some hand warmers in here. I'll show you in a minute also some different types of hand warmers that I got that have adhesive on them. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but having a lot of these, I believe this came in a larger bag from REI, and then I just pulled it out and put these in different bags. Just some good Rite and rain paper. So if you ever need to leave a note in your car, or if you are in a situation where you need to leave your vehicle, you can leave a note. So with that, I keep like a little Sharpie in there, so you can write a note, leave that, and that's gonna sort of hold up to a little bit more of the elements if you need to leave that out, so people do know where you are. Kind of move this aside a little bit so you can get some more of that stuff. Some duct tape, just some everyday duct tape. You never know if you need to plug up some holes or patch, you know, some things in your vehicle or some clothing or whatnot. So it's a good little sort of pocket duct tape. And then this is just like little SOS charge pad. So it gives you 3 hours of power. It has like an 8-year shelf life, and it works with Mac and Android. But this is a great little, just a thing to sort of keep in some of your kits. So you keep your communication powered up. So you don't want to be stuck in this, you know, in the snow or whatnot, and your phone dies or what. You have some little extra power backup. Some extra batteries for the headlamp, and that's pretty much it. That's in that guy. Then over here onto the first aid kit. This is not my main first aid kit that I keep in the vehicle. I have a larger first aid kit that has a lot more elements in it. But this is something quick and accessible for just if I need it. Again, I'm not a medic, or I'm not a trained professional, but I try to be knowledgeable about this stuff. So, you know, I either do research online or I attend first aid classes to help me sort of, at least, so I'm not a bumbling idiot out there if I do any things. But this is just a quick little bag that has triangle bandage, some stuffing, some tape, has some wound dressing. Let's see, I'm not going to pull everything out, but it's just sort of like one of those little kits. So it has some more first aid, band-aids, has some antiseptic wipes, and some alcohol prep, and just, you know, some basic first aid kit for wound closures. So that's nice because it keeps it nice and compact. These are, you can usually buy these either through like Fieldcraft or other good providers. I've learned that don't buy your stuff from cheap Amazon things. You know, go to reputable sources. Some clothing shears, and then just some other just basic Neosporin, and some band-aids, and then some gloves, just some rubber gloves. You know, just quick and accessible things that you want to have ready. I mean, the thing that I probably use the most is the band-aids, you know, just with the kids. But that's just these upper pouches with what's sort of floating around in those. All right, so let's move over a little bit without knocking my cheap little camera around. We'll just, you know, start from the top and work our way down. So I'm gonna put this off to the side a little bit so I'll pull things into the camera. So first, just some gloves, some warm gloves. I mean, oftentimes when you jump in the car, you think you're going on a quick trip. You don't think about, you know, all the little things you might need. These are not the warmest gloves, but, you know, if you are stuck in the snow and you need to dig yourself out, or if you need to, you know, even just clearing out the tailpipe, you know, if you're in a severe snowstorm, but just having something that you can keep your fingers while you're outside. You know, also throwing some hand warmers inside the glove, you know, help a lot with that. Some merino wool socks, and then a beanie, just having that accessible. I also keep this survival knife, and I'll pull that right back in. So that's actually connected to the Molly, but it's a good Maracona, so you can sort of see what that is. But that is a sharp blade. It's also got a nice angle on here, so if you do need it, so you can actually strike the ferro rod, which is tucked in here. And so you have this also a sharpening stone here on the side. So it's just a good all-around generic survival knife. So if you do need a ferro rod or just a sharp knife to sort of have with you, this is sort of great, and it's nice and secure on the bag as well. So this is just a goodie bag slash sugar bag slash hydration. My wife is diabetic, so I always have with me in all my vehicles some type of sugar to help with her manage her blood sugars, and then, you know, a few of these liquid IV hydration packs, just so ultimately to make that water last, you know, to help hydrate you as much as possible. So utilizing that water, whatever water you have, is to be as most effective as possible. And then that's where the water comes in. I just keep the bags in a big old you know, freezer bag, so if anything does leak, you know, at least, you know, you have some protection in there. But keeping some water, I keep that close to the clothes, so I'm not worried about freezing. I also garage my car, so they're not outside overnight very often, but if I am in a situation where I am outside or stuck in the cold, you know, I keep it in that type of situation. And then ways to start a fire. So I talked about the ferro rod, but then I have these Bigfoot Bushcraft fire tabs. And it comes this tin. You can buy this from them with the fire tabs, and you can just pull out a fire tab, you twist it, you know, it sort of turns into a big cotton ball. And then if you're striking it with a you know, ferro rod, or just using a match or a lighter, you know, it lights, and it holds that light for like a few minutes. So this is a great way to start a fire, especially if you're short on ways to, you know, start or have things around. Another thing to use as a fire starter if you need it. And then just some waterproof matches. So multiple ways to do a lot of the same thing, especially when you're in an emergency situation. Another flashlight, just a nice little thicker flashlight. You know, it has a little bit, if you need to use that for self-defense, it has the jagged edges on there with the multiple sections. So this is a good LED flashlight that you can do point or broader type of thing. I mean, some of the stuff is from Amazon, so I'm not going to say that everything I bought is not from Amazon, because like I talked about the first aid stuff, but this is you know, a good cheap flashlight. And then I've kept one of these Midland radios. You can sort of see the battery's low, and the cool thing with this is it has the crank on it. So you can also add extra batteries in here if you need to. So having a few extra batteries available, but you're not sort of screwed if you don't have the batteries. So you can crank that. You can sort of see that powers up pretty fast. And then also has solar, so you can also keep this out for a solar charge. But then it has all the good things about the weather alerts, AM, FM radio, and then you could tune it to specific radios or channels that if you need to. And then you also have an antenna. And the good thing about this is you have ways to also charge your devices and your communication devices. So if you really are in a situation where you need power, you have a way to crank that or have solar to be able to help support that. So Midland is a great source. It comes with, you know, has the flashlight. So this is a great all around, you know, survival / notification of everything that's going around you. And this is a recent addition that I just got. So LitezAll. I haven't really fully tested this but it's, you know, it's more like a lantern that you can have in the vehicle. So having something that's, you know, can light up the entire vehicle or around you or the campsite. But the unique thing about this, it also has come with a little compartment for, you know, it has flatheads and, you know, Phillips and other little tools that you might need for, you know, fixing, you know, certain things on the vehicle or around the vehicle that you need to, or at camp. So I thought that was a really sort of interesting 2-in-1. Sort of you got some tools as well as you got some extra light. And then I mentioned the hand warmers. So I like these. I bought a big box of them and I just throw a bunch of these in, but they come as they're toe warmers, but they have adhesive. So the good thing about this is, sure, you can put these in your socks or in your shoes and they sort of stick and they won't move around. But if you also need to stick them on the core of your body, so that if you need to warm up the core of somebody, you can stick several of these on somebody and they're not going to fall off. So I like the adhesive part of it, and just, you know, adds a little bit of security, and ultimately it's also just another hand warmer. And last but not least is I have enough of these for every person that's usually traveling with me. So 2 of my kids have moved away, so now I just have 3 of us at home. So I keep 3 of these Bivey emergency sleeping bags. So something to keep you warm in the cold, but it's also small enough to keep in the bag. So yeah, so I got 3 of these guys in here. So 3 Biveys, and make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh yeah, so there's a couple more things in here. some paracord, some high-vis paracord, so for whatever roping, securing things you down, you have a little extra paracord is always good to have. And the last thing I have in here is just a foldable saw. So if I need to get more firewood or whatnot, so this is a tough built folding jab saw. So so you have this, pops out. So you have at least, some type of thing to maybe saw down some limbs or, get some wood that if you need to. So having that accessible, and then it comes with these extra blades. So the cool thing with the extra blades, if I can open this little storage case. All right. So with these extra blades, so you got one, for, TP. Sorry, one for plastic, one for multi-usage, one for metal, and one for wood. So you have some extra blades, and depending on the scenario you need, you have some different blades that you can use, depending on what the situation dictates for that. So just having like that, and it's all tucked away in a nice little carrying case, so it's easy to store, and also it's not going to cut everything else up. So that is it. If you have any comments, or if you have anything that you use that you think is, hey, this is you have to have X, or have you ever tried Y? I'd love to hear it. So every time I do one of these videos, I get some great comments about different things that other people use. This is just a small kit. I also have another box that I use for my recovery that has ropes and shovels and other things in there, and I also have a bag for extra oil, things to be able to help fix a vehicle if I need to. But this is just like a general survival bag that's small enough that fits in the vehicle to help in a pinch. But let me know if you have any comments, and thanks for your time.